Good morning, good morning. We're coming at you with some insane news out of Google. Now, this is an article from Tom's Hardware. I'll go ahead and link it for credit down in the description below. But this is Google launches AI supercomputer powered by NVIDIA H100 GPUs. Now, we all know NVIDIA has really been leading the race, AMD close behind. Even some Chinese graphics card companies are starting to heavily compete with what we can do here in the States. But this line right here. Google's A3 supercomputer delivers up to 26 exaflops of AI performance. Now, for anyone that doesn't know about like the exascaling, basically what this means is one exaflop, for those that don't know, basically can process 1 quintillion points of information or data per second. So this is 26 quintillion, that is 18 zeros. That is 18 zeros, 26 quintillion points per second. That is insane. That is 47 years faster per second than what our best computer worldwide, at least in the public sector or what we know of, can process. That is absolutely insane. But what are they using it for? So we're going to dive a little bit into this article and we're going to talk about the Bard chatbot, or this is a new LLM. So the company discussed its new Palm 2 large language model, or LLM. For anyone not familiar, that's the same thing ChatGPT is an LLM. They basically go off of, however many billions of parameters. I believe GPT-4 is over 60 billion parameters right now. And this Google is going to be powering their new Palm 2 LLM for generative AI, which powers the Bard chatbot tool. It's a foundational pillar for adding AI-infused features across Google's product portfolio, including Maps, Photos, and Gmail. So this is really interesting because how do we incorporate generative AI into things such as Google Maps? Well, in the coming future, in the not so distant future, I feel we're actually going to be getting that. So, Google Maps, Google Photos, and Gmail, among others. So, it's talking about adding generative AI into Google's product portfolio as a whole. So, let's go ahead and go down here. According to Google, A3, and whenever we say A3, we're referencing this new 26 exaflops computer. A3 represents the first production level deployment of its GPU to GPU data interface, which allows for sharing data at 200. That's right, 200 gigabytes per second while bypassing the host CPU. This interface, which Google calls the Infrastructure Processing Unit, or IPU, results in a 10x uplift in available network bandwidth for A3 virtual machines, or VMs, compared to A2 VMs. Now, I'm sure a lot of you out there, or at least some of you out there, have used Google Notebook or the Collab Notebook for whatever you may need. Say you don't want to locally install something like Stable Diffusion or Disco Diffusion, you can just use their internal. And I believe that's what this is talking about, bypassing the host CPU, which means this is going to be all in the cloud. Again, we don't have all of the details of this yet, but the fact that people can utilize 26 exaflops or this A3 computation system and completely bypass your local CPU is absolutely insane. So we have one more here. Google Cloud's A3 VMs powered by next generation NVIDIA H100 GPUs. I'm looking at NVIDIA earnings next quarter. I believe we just had Q2 earnings. We're going to have Q3 earnings coming up. With this news, I am definitely looking at that. That's not financial advice. That's just a personal opinion and something I'm going to be looking into. It will accelerate training and serving of generative AI applications. And this is Ian Buck, the VP for Hyperscale and High Performance Computing at NVIDIA. On the heels of Google Cloud's recently launched G2 instances, we're proud to continue our work with Google Cloud to help transform enterprises around the world with purpose-built AI infrastructure. If your business wants to leverage A3 virtual machines, or I suppose as a person to person, you want to leverage this. If you would like to use their A3 VM, the only way to gain access is by filling out Google's preview interest form. Now, I'm going to link this form down in the description below as well. You know that I'm going to be filling it out to try and get whitelisted for that. Fingers crossed, but I'm going to leave that form in the description down below so you can try and get whitelisted for it as well. You do that to join the early access program. But as Google clearly states, plugging in your information doesn't guarantee a spot. We know this. We've been in this space for a minute. We know that just because you apply for a whitelist does not mean you're going to get access. So this is an article by Brandon Hill, again on Tom's Hardware. But this is extremely exciting because the limits of AI computing are going much, much faster than anyone really could have anticipated. And this just proves it. It is another step down the line of supercomputing with AI injection. And my favorite part of this is bypassing a local host, which means it's not going to be determinate on what our local computer can process. It's going to be all on the cloud, I'm assuming. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Are you excited for this? Does this horrify you? Let me know. Let's start a conversation.